studies of stuff quite often. We did a really neat project with Block, and it was a good kind of end-to-end process of how we feel an agency should work, or rather a client should have a relationship with an agency. How that kind of works. It kind of evolved. So I studied graphic design and advertising back in the day, before there was even computers actually. Magic markers were the thing of the day. What do you do? Well, you just buy some equipment that can actually get you to earn some money, and then slowly build it from there. So we were primarily a design studio, and we also did a lot of signage stuff, but traditional kind of print-based stuff. And slowly but surely clients just got on the kind of digital stack. So we merged with another agency about 2 years ago.
Okay.
And that wasn't great. It was a really bad experience. So and then and we acquired them, and now we are who we are. So it's been relatively organic growth. Okay, basically I'm going to count the guys. So we've also got this weird hybrid of, we start to work with a lot of people that, so we've got our permanent team, which I call kind of our platform. So this is it's almost the most valuable resource that we've got as an agency is a consistent team of people that have a specific skill set, and we build on a specific framework, which happens to just be a content management system. So the fixed amount of people that we have, I'll actually go onto my website and count them. 14 permanent staff members, and I would imagine there's 4 part-time guys. Part-time stroke freelancers. It's kind of hybrid role. In the agency world, we're definitely one of the top 3 size-wise in terms of in the Southampton area, almost certainly. Does that make us a big agency? Probably not. I suppose so regionally it's probably a medium-sized agency. There are bigger ones. Our biggest competitor is 505. And turnovers, most agencies are measured on turnover, so we are probably just going over the £1 million mark. And so there's lots of league tables that you can measure. So I would say we're probably a medium-sized agency as far as small to medium as far as it goes nationally, and within Southampton we're probably a large one. What we're trying to do is, there's a traditional agency model in the same way that recruitment agency model is broken, etc., where we seem to have this concept of somebody in the company sells a job, and then you just hire people at a lower rate. Every job has got a budget, and under that budget we have a rough expectation of what we need to do, and the team will work towards that very collaboratively. So we're very messy, we make mistakes, and we just try as a group of people to deliver good work that we're proud of, that hasn't been really prescripted by people at the top. Everybody knows what has to be delivered. And I think that's kind of the trick. I think a client, which is why we don't pitch either. So we don't pitch for jobs, and we don't reply to tenders.
Okay, what do people come to you then?
Well, the primary methodology is if you build good stuff, people will come.
Yeah.
And that's what comes. We don't have any sales people at all. I suppose I'm the only one. And it's just good customer service and build good stuff, and clients will come. It's kind of anything digital. I suppose our core is Umbraco, so that's a .NET content management system, and we have we have a good few large corporate clients that we're essentially building websites for, and a lot of ongoing kind of support and maintenance. So once the client has got us to build a website, what we will try and do is we'll try and get them to, instead of spending a big wad of cash with us in the first instance, we'll get them to say, let's rather spread this over a year, and we'll get them into the methodology of continuous development, continuous improvement, as opposed to, okay, let's stop, don't spend more money, 2 years down the line.
I want a whole redesign.
Yeah, whole redesign. So we
small updates over time.
Yeah, small updates all the time. Instead of charging $8,000 now and doing the work, let's rather charge you $12,000. So from a sales point of view, we're upping it. Break it down to £1,000 a month every year, because we all know that there's going to be things that change at the end. And we all know when we go backwards, we add up the amount of money, that's what they spend every year. So try and get into this kind of continuous development methodology. It's probably the British Airways project, but it didn't involve the whole team, which is potentially a little bit unfair. But it has had a massive impact on British Airways. It created a visual language that has now become the de facto standard within British Airways for all of the dashboards now, and we then were able to build it in Angular, which we've never done before. I don't actually like to have big clients and small clients and good clients and rubbish clients, because a client is just a client. So whether they're spending £1,000 a year or they're spending £100,000 for you, they're still the same. You know what I mean. So what you deliver is obviously slightly different. If you approach it from that same mentality, then they will get what they essentially pay for. I think what you want to do as a team of people is that you consistently want to be proud of the work that you deliver. Yeah, but you have to define the word traditional, I suppose.
Yeah.
I think traditional is just spelled S-H-I-T. and I think that's what people are realizing. So whether we are traditional internally or externally, and of course we're in this weird middle ground. I call it this muddy place of, no one's really being trained. I have these arguments with universities all the time saying, can you stop teaching students what to do and just tell them to come and work for us? And in fact, get the students to pay us instead of paying you. And by the time they're finished with their 3 years, they'll actually know what's going on, instead of trying to catch up for a year afterwards. And so there's a bit of disruption that needs to happen there. But our process is pretty cocked up actually, because a traditional agency you'll have kind of cost. So you'll sell something for a cost, and there's lots of systems out there like Synergy and Traffic that manage that, and all the accounting guys love it because you know where you are with any project. So you sell something for a cost. You have a team of resources that can do that, but that relies relatively on an old school waterfall type of approach to project. But that's where I think a lot of bigger agencies start falling down, because it becomes like a factory mentality. So instead of trying to deliver good work, you're just trying to deliver work against time and budget. It's that old triangle, and you've seen that one. You've seen it, say.
Maybe. I'm not sure actually.
Good, fast. What the hell was that one? I feel like a girlfriend. Cheap, that's it. So you can only pick 2 of those. You can't have all 3, it's impossible. So you can either have it good and fast, but it's not going to be cheap, or you can have it fast and cheap, but it's not going to be good, or you can have it good and cheap, but it ain't going to be fast. But I think the girl one is, she's either pretty, sane, or rich. So you can have a pretty girl that's rich, but she's going to be mental. Or you can have a sane person that's rich, but she ain't going to be very pretty. So it's one of those things. This is the usual one. Each of these users will end up having a triangle of needs. Okay, and then we'll marry those needs against the client's wish list, because sometimes the client's wish list can come from internal perceptions of what the users want, as opposed to what the real users actually want. And then you can go and validate this and test it. And then we say, well, there's a budget here, so there'll be some pounds here, and because we've done this first phase, we think, and we know based on our current agency efficiencies and how we can build, we can probably get to here. So we say that is at that stage, we could probably launch this product, and it will make these people happy. The client's first accusation or rant is, you guys don't test properly. So Phil's answer to that, he's development manager, his answer to that is, well, we shouldn't have to test, because you should just build stuff that works. An agency is still a commercial organization. It still has to make money. So of course we have this concept of financial people. So we've got revenue people, and we've got people that are interested in kind of delivering a product that's all about experience. And those two kinds of people will always be logins.
Yeah.
I, as the owner of the company, find myself consistently in the middle. And so that's kind of my main role. Yeah, we don't have any project managers.
No project managers.
So we have essentially what's called producers. They're not project managers in any way or form. They just, and it is, the team works collaboratively to get the thing done. No, we paid a lot of money to have our contracts drawn up, and we just have we have a master service agreement, which is, this is our contract to you as a client. So if you came to me for a website, we would give you a master service agreement which says this is how we will act over the lifetime of our project, and then thereafter every small job we have a service order agreement, which is just like a little A4 to say we are going to be delivering this work against the agreed master service contract agreements. Doing anything that's gambling related. So we have, but then again we've worked with BAE Systems and they build missiles that nuke people. So but that just comes from me down, I suppose, those kind of things. Essentially, we solve problems based on the user-centered design approach. So let's really understand your users, and let's design something, and then let's build something. We are consistently learning. Every single job that we get in, we learn how to do things better. We're quite involved in the community thing, so we run Hack-Sutton, which is something that we started here at the office this year. And so I would say, well, what we did there is, we spoke about it for about a year, lots of people spoke about it, but some people have to just get off their arse and actually do it. So we didn't want to overtly own it as an agency, so I just said to Adam, run it. Our biggest problem is talent, which is kind of one of the reasons why we wanted to run something like Hack-Sutton, to stop people bleeding and going up to London to hack. What does a good agency look like? And a good agency tends to be defined by the amount of awards that you win. Well, awards just seem to be this kind of PR platform at the moment. So everybody's an award winner. It's a massive trust thing, and I think agencies are going to be based on trust, because your clients have to trust you. You as an agency have to trust your client. You then have to trust your staff. But it's the lure sometimes of the contract. That's where the recruitment agency thing kind of falls down quite a lot. So, and it's difficult because when you guys finish, you get the choice of either coming to work for a local agency, being run by people that don't really know what's going on, or you go to a massive corporate that are being run by people that don't really know what's going on either.